Welcome to our online performance of Moses Hogan's His Light Still Shines. I'm Joe Illick, Artistic Director of Fort Worth Opera. His Light Still Shines was commissioned by the Choral Arts Society of Washington in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. It was premiered in 2002 at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. The Fort Worth Opera Chorus, conducted by our Chorus Master Alfrelynn Roberts, performs this 15-minute choral medley which embodies our company's values. Embracing diversity, eradicating inequity, and supporting racial justice.
Armed with a faith in God and a belief in the moral power of righteous, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. lit a candle whose flame grew little by little, demonstration by demonstration, and march by march into an illuminating fire of Olympian proportion. His fire was a fire by which Americans came to see both the sins of its racial past and the promise of a future big enough to encompass the dreams and gifts of us all.
Dr. King would have been the first to acknowledge that he was only holding up a torch lit long before him. A fire of faith passed on in the words of spirituals that were first sung in the time of enslavement. His ringing oratorical eloquence frequently employed phrases and images from songs that had buoyed and bolstered the spirits of those who came before him. The spirituals had a home in his heart. So it is no accident that Dr. King made his vow unto the Lord and never turned back.
God made my vow unto the Lord. God made my vow unto the Lord. God made my vow. God made my
just like you,
to see what the end will be.
I moaned and I moaned till I came through.
To see what the end will be. Oh, my Jesus.
When every star refused continues to shine.
See what the end will be.
I know King Jesus will be mine.
See what the end will be. Oh, my Lord, see what the end will be. Oh, my Lord, see what the end is gonna be.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. appeared on the world stage at an hour when the darkness was deep. A people who nearly a century earlier had been freed from the shackles of slavery found themselves still bound by a myriad of unjust laws and entrenched social customs. When the most affluent society on earth sat down at the table of plenty, the sons and daughters of Africa assisted with preparing the feast and with cleaning up afterwards. But they were denied seats at the banquet table.
The darkness of despair rolled in like a thick fog, obscuring the path to freedom, justice, and equality of opportunity. In this climate of near hopelessness, when the incendiary mixture of fear and frustration needed only the slightest spark to ignite it into violence, a new light appeared. A young Baptist minister who had studied the nonviolent philosophy of Mohandas Gandhi and taken it to heart, saw in nonviolent resistance the tool needed to move a nation out of the perplexing maze of racial injustice and onto the simple pathway of peace.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows the Jesus. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Much has changed in the decades since Dr. King's death, although sometimes it seems that too much has stayed the same. It has been said that if he is seen chiefly as a hero for African Americans, the breadth and magnitude of his contribution will have been missed, for he came to save us all from the suffocating effect of bigotry and intolerance.
America would have little basis for exerting moral leadership in the world if it had not come so far toward the eradication of its own brand of apartheid at home. Still, many battles are yet unwon in the war Dr. King died fighting.
Wherever the struggle for justice, equality, and dignity continues to be waged without recourse to bullets and bombs, his light still shines. And for those today who take up the challenge of overcoming hatred with love are responding, just as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did to that clarion call and that old spiritual that says, "Hold out your light, ye heaven-bound soldiers, hold out your light and let your light shine across the world."
Hold out your light, you heaven-bound soldier. Hold out your light, you heaven-bound soldier. Hold out your light, you heaven-bound soldier. Light shine around the world. Hold out your light, you heaven-bound soldier. Hold out your light, you heaven-bound soldier. Hold out your light, you heaven-bound
Worth Opera offers thought-provoking programming that asks important questions, gives us hope for a better world, and reminds us all that music is a universal language that transcends boundaries, languages, and race. Please consider making a gift to support Fort Worth Opera. Thank you.